So Nias, you there? So
Yes, very
everyone,
much.
07734. Can anyone decode that enigma for me? 07734. Okay, I think you all are just like a little confused. I'll break it myself. It's fun. See, mathematicians use this code to just say hello. So you just take a calculator, you type 07734 and just flip it upside down. You can see it as hello. So this is how mathematicians say hello. So I believe so. Anyways, you must be thinking why I am talking about mathematicians or mathematics. So guys, there is a day to remember. That is this December 22nd. This December 22nd is a born day of famous mathematician Srinivas Ramanuja Iyengar. So I have something to share with you. So Indian government declared 22nd December to be the National Mathematics Day, and this is to mark his birth anniversary. And as you might be knowing that he is born to a Tamil Iyengar family, a middle class family, and overcoming the hassles, he managed to become a mathematician. Even though many of people declined to see his work, or they just he failed to impress all of them, but he just kept on working. How he just he maintained a postal partnership with G.H. Hardy, a famous English mathematician, and seeing his works, mathematical equations, theorems, seeing all his works, Hari, he just decided to work with him, and that's how Ramanuja excelled as a mathematician. Hari has, in his note, he has commented that uh, Ramanuja has contributed groundbreaking theorems in mathematics and mathematical analysis and number theories. So guys, this is a message. You have to take it like, if you have a determination, you have to work for that. And apart from, regardless of the obstacles, you will accomplish that one. So that is my message for today. So Nias, I am pretty sure that you will be having something to share with
There
us.
is nothing
Please.
much to share today. I mean, today we are very late, so I thought like, I would just go with the Pratibha because I can't wait to, hear
Exactly.
from her because, the book what she has today. I mean, this is a quite tempting book, and this is from Les Brown. So what more you want? And this is from the Pratibha. And the day when I saw the poster, I had a crush on a Pratibha because, she got a different look altogether. So happy to see you over here, Pratibha. So, in order to introduce Pratibha, I would like to welcome Anil Thomas. Anil sir, how are you?
Great, Nias. Thank you very much. And as you said, okay, we got two amazing speakers actually, Pradeepa and Gada sir. So let me introduce Pradeepa. Pradeepa is closely associated with Les Brown. And let me introduce Pradeepa. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anil Thomas, part of the Bookery team. I'm so excited to have Pradeepa and Gangadhar sir on this platform. World-renowned motivational speaker and author Les Brown releases a new book titled You've Got to Be Hungry, where he aims to inspire people to greatness using his efforts as a case study. Who else can review this book better than Pradibha? Pradibha Day. I am not getting into the details of the book. I leave that opportunity for Pradibha. Pradibha Day is a visionary author, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, teacher, and the founder of Chai Together LLC. Her academic background is in interpersonal communication and education. She's an advocate for women, children, and the elderly on her show, Chai Together, where she advocates for mental health and physical well-being. Her upcoming book is entitled Resiliency, A Woman's Journey from Scarcity to Success. Friends, help me in welcoming Pradeepa Day onto eBookery platform.
Wow. Thank you. I was not expecting such a grand introduction. I feel as if I'm being honored. So thank you for that. I'm really glad that I'm here today. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone's doing really well. So this is my coach and mentor's book, You Got to Be Hungry by Mr. Les Brown. So this book is for anyone who's facing adversities in life, who's ever been through any struggles or the bottom of the bottom where you don't know how to get out of hardships. It's for people of all ages, whether it be teenager up to someone who's 70 years old, who has overcome these triumphs and they want to relate back to someone who has as well. Or it could be for people who've never been through any, difficulties or struggles and tragedies that others may have. And if they want to know how it feels or to know how to resonate with someone and understand them clearly, they can read this book to have an understanding of what it feels like to go through pain and overcome and come out on the other side with resiliency. So this book, it took 21 years for Les Brown to write this book. And he initially started this book when he was quite younger. This book is of his journey. So it's basically his autobiography. He has overcome many things that other people don't go through. And I can really resonate with that because I have as well, especially being from the South Asian community. I was originally born in New Delhi, India, and I migrated to the States. So his story is of him growing up, in a racist world. He's a Black man, and he was told he wouldn't be able to become a motivational speaker because of his skin. And he had to knock down his pride, because in order for him to speak at the Georgia Dome, which was his biggest speech full of 80,000 people, the person, a billionaire who originally gave him the opportunity to do so, he told him a remark regarding racism, regarding his skin, and he had to be calm instead of get angry about it, because that led him to have the opportunity to speak in front of so many people. So sometimes the message of this aspect of the book is to not honor your pride so much, but to be humble. And sometimes in life, we have to do things where we have to be calm instead of retaliate to get to the next level. So that's the message of that aspect of the book. Les Brown was born to his biological mother and then to the mother that adopted him. So he has two moms, and he honors both of them, and he does everything that he does is for his mom. So he watched his mom growing up cleaning houses, being verbally abused by white women. He wanted to buy his mom a house, and that was his only goal. And he went on to do that. And, he was bashed by his family that he wants to become a motivational speaker. As he led on to do that, he had many difficulties. He has had cancer, and he still struggles with it. His mom fell ill. So he went off, he's originally from Miami, and he went off to move because he got a phone call that his mom was sick. So he left everything, and he was working as a politician. He started off speaking in small communities like libraries and churches, and he would go door to door ringing doorbells to offer people their services when he worked, I believe, as a marketer. So he really started from the bottom, and as he moved up and he moved to where his mom was, he didn't have a job, so he had no income. And he really had to work on his speaking. When he got the opportunity, before he got that opportunity, he actually slept in a garbage. So he was offered an opportunity to work at a job, and no one would help him. No one would shelter him. So for 2 to 3 days, he slept out in the cold in a garbage, like in a trash can. And he had nowhere to stay. He had no money. And he wore the same clothes. He stank. He smelled like trash. He went off to take a shower in the workplace. And these are the kind of struggles we're talking about. Not even that, but his biggest struggle in this book that he discusses, what he doesn't discuss in public, is that he had an opioid addiction, a drug addiction. And he was addicted to these drugs. And it was really overpowering him. And you would think, oh, motivational speaker, that, people don't have problems, but every single person has challenges in life. And this book can resonate with anyone, like I said, once again, who wants to read a real story, not something that's sugar-coated, but something that's about real life. And when he had that addiction, everyone gathered around him and had an intervention from his family. And he cut the drug addiction cold turkey. What that means is, he didn't have any therapy, no rehab, and he took his willpower to do that because he had overcome so much already regarding racism. He was born as a twin as well, and his mother gave him up for adoption at a young age. and he never met his parents. He doesn't know who his parents are. And he was born on a floor of an abandoned building. So he wasn't born his whole life. He wasn't born in a setting that is, very welcoming. The world wasn't welcoming to him. And now look where he is. So I just want to wrap it up and say that this book can be reread over and over. And there's different chapters to, discussing the realities of life. And that's what this book is about. So thank you so much for your time. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pratibha. That was really quick. We were expecting more from you because you got 20 minutes, Pratibha, and you have explained us very well in very detailed that the kind of difficult situation what Les Brown had gone through, and what really motivated him. And would you please share a little bit more of this book?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know I had 20 minutes.
Mhm.
What motivated him was seeing his mom being yelled at by a white woman when he was little. So he went to work with his mom one day. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Very much.
Yes.
Yeah. So he went to work with his mom one day in Miami, in Florida, and he went to work with his mom, and a white woman wanted, while his mom is cleaning the house, to clap every time that she's in a room so she's not stealing anything. We went through slavery in India as well, where the British took over. So here they have racism, between whites and blacks, even until today in America. So the white woman, she's wealthy, she's rich, and his mom was not. And the white woman was abusing his mom. So that led him to tell his mom, "Mommy, I'm going to buy you a house one day." And seeing his mom in that position is what motivated him. And that's why he pursued her to buy her house. So the first house that he bought for his mom, he lost the house. He didn't know anything about, paperwork or how it works, the legalities of it. And he lost the house. And it was really funny because his mom told him that, "I never liked that house anyway." But then he led on to buy more houses for his mom. But the overarching experience of this is that he accomplished everything that he's told his mom he was going to do when he was a little kid, such as you would see in Bollywood movies when kids tell their mom, in Hindi, like, "Mom, main tumhe ghar banaunga," like that. So it's like that aspect of it. And that's the whole motivational aspect, was his mom, that he was born to his biological mom with a twin brother, Wesley Brown. That's his brother, twin brother. And he was born to his mom. He never met his mom. He was given up for adoption by his mom because his dad was in the military and his mother had an affair. And she didn't want his father to find out. So she gave the children away to a woman who was looking to adopt children. So along with Wesley Brown and Mr. Les Brown, this woman called Mamie Brown, M-A-M-I-E, Mamie Brown, that's Les Brown's mom, she adopted 7 other children aside from Mr. Les Brown and Wesley Brown. So she was looking for children. So the universe really aligned to find these 2 women together and have this bond, something that's very rare and out of the ordinary and the timeline that it did. And he was adopted, and all he ever knew was Mamie Brown, his adopted mom, the mom that adopted him. Does that help?
Right, that's great. So at what moment did he realize that he could be a motivational speaker?
Oh, wow. So the big part that I left out was he started off as a disc jockey. So do you guys know the story of Mr. Butterball or no?
Not yet.
Oh, you don't? Yeah. So Mr. Butterball, he had a radio station, and Les Brown would go to him because another strong person in Les Brown's life was Mr. Washington. So Mr. Washington was a teacher at the high school where Les Brown studies. So Les Brown was told that he's mentally and educationally retarded, like he needs special education. And all the children teased him and said that Wesley Brown, his brother, was a smarter one. So when he was in school, Mr. Washington told him to go up to the board and solve a mathematical problem or something of sorts, like Badaru was saying. And so he said, "I can't do that, sir." And he said, and Mr. Washington said, "Why not?" And Mr. Les Brown said, "I'm educationally mentally retarded." He said, "Don't you ever say that again." He said, "Someone's opinion of you does not define your reality." And Les Brown said, wow. And that one quote he still uses until today. And Les Brown is 75 years old. And he still says the same story every time. So that was Mr. Washington. And then he went on to build this relationship with Mr. Washington. And as he went on, Les Brown was giving up on himself that he's not going to get into college. You know, he's not smart enough. Then when he started working, got a job through Mr. Washington as the disc jockey, he got this job and he kept going back. Mr. Washington keep going back because the gentleman wouldn't hire him. And he said, Mr. Butterball, how are you, sir? And as he always does in his voice. And he said, what do you want, boy? And Les Brown said, I want a job, sir. Are you hiring? He said, no, I'm not. Get out of here. And so Mr. Butterball would always react that way. And Les Brown kept going back, I believe, for like 5 days. And then he finally said, he said, how are you, sir? And Mr. Butterball said, weren't you here yesterday, boy? And Les Brown said, yes, I was. I just want to know if someone died or someone got fired, sir. And he was like, boy, no one died or got fired. And he said, get out of here. And then when he finally went back, he said, hello, Mr. Butterball. I'm so happy to see you. And then Les Brown, and then Mr. Butterball was finally like, go get me a cup of coffee. And then he finally got hired. So that was a funny story. And then one day when Les Brown was, getting the cup of coffee, and he used to also clean cars for celebrities and musicians for free. And he would do a lot of work, a lot of giving in order to receive, because we have to give in order to get a reward back. So one day Les Brown was at the station and, the host didn't show up. So the disc jockey didn't show up. And Mr. Butterball called Les Brown and said, can you call someone, look for someone to come in? And Les Brown said, sure will, sir. But he hung up the phone. He said, he must think I'm crazy. I'm going to call someone to come in, because Mr. Les Brown was waiting for that opportunity to speak. He was waiting, to go on air in the radio station. So he hung up the phone and he got on the radio show. He called his mom and his girlfriend at the time. And he said, both of you turn on the radio. I'm about to get on. And he was so excited. And then he finally got on, and then he did his spiel of, I'm Les Brown, Mamie's baby boy, and the whole spiel, I don't know. And then he said, it's a plumb pleasing pleasure. So he said his whole spiel, and then, Mr. Butterball was angry, but then Les Brown stuck with it, and that's how he became a disc jockey. So he basically took an opportunity that wasn't there, and yes, he lied, but sometimes you have to do what's best for you, and it's not where he was harming someone. So that was the story of how he got into speaking. It started with radio.
Fantastic, Pratibha. When you look at Les Brown was not just a motivation speaker. He was much more than that. He's a cancer survivor, and he's a politician too. From the very humble beginning and the kind of difficulties that he had in his life, what was the real spirit that he was holding? And Les Brown, if you watch all his videos and if you read through his books, you would understand that one Les always gives examples. So can you tell me something from your life that, that really influenced you after reading through?
Well, I just read this this year after being coached with Les Brown. So I just read this year. So I've overcome numerous things as well. And I really can resonate with the pain of it. When I read this book, I was engrossed in the book. And then when I closed the book, I had to take a moment to get back into my reality, because it really captures you, it's very captivating. So you want to know something that happened in my life, why I resonate with the book? Is that correct?
If you are comfortable to share with that,
I'm very comfortable sharing my story. So I'll tell you this. So I actually discovered Les Brown through a friend, I believe 8 years ago. So I'm 27 years old. I'm going to be 28. And when I first discovered him, I was suffering with clinical depression and I was having suicide ideation. So I was in a very low place in my life. And what had led me to that place was numerous amounts of physical abuse and sexual abuse and things of that nature. So when I heard of Les Brown, he gave me, I told myself that I'm going to meet him one day. And I wanted to meet him when I was 20, but I didn't. But look, 8 years later, like he's my coach, he's my mentor, I know him. So what this book did for me after I read it is that it basically helped me heal and it helped me align with my own story through knowing that I'm not alone. because a lot of people suffer and a lot of people are silent, but there's a difference between choosing to suffer and choosing to be silent than, you know, having a stand and raising your voice. So I hope that answers it, does it?
Fantastic, Pratibha. We have many people here on this platform, and we have Vinay Kanchan, and we have Ankit, we have Shomaji. I'm sure that one definitely they would have something to ask you,
Sure.
something related to what you have just explained to us. I mean, between I want to tell you, like, you have done a fantastic job by explaining, everything in a very nutshell.
Yeah,
Thanks. I
exactly.
didn't, it's from my heart. I didn't even get a chance to review it. It's my finals week, so I didn't get a chance to.
Fantastic. We
Brief
just
and
felt like,
sweet.
yeah,
Believe me.
we just felt like,
Oh,
a friend
Thanks.
of Les Brown is sitting next to him and explaining. So that was the
Thanks.
kind of a feel that we had. Shomaji, how that was resonated with you? Because you are a person who has been working in a corporate for long years of experience, and many management roles that you had in your life. Did a Les Brown or any of his books or quotations or any of his examples of his life, as a whole, inspired you at any point of time? Shamaji, you need to unmute yourself. We know you are very smart, but you need to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Very much.
Okay. Anil, first of all, thank you very much. You are such a silent leader who leads from the front. How this whole Bookery club is with all success, you are one of the sign. And I have read about the lady Pratibha, right? Okay. Pratibha, we know one person there for India. So, she is amazing. I don't know. She is not actually reviewing the book. Actually, she reeling out anecdotes and something as if she was there on the scene. So she could be, or she can be, if she already done, very easily get into theater or movies or anything. Because
Mohanji, good night.
that hello. So the way she narrates or the way she gets into the character and speaks, like a Smita Patil kind of person, she just leaves that. Actually speaking, in our Bookery Club, book reviews has to be like that. You get only the, what concentrated little bit 20 minutes only in to talk about the book, the author, create the situation, bring that interest and awe and emotion. I tell you, this lady is outstanding. Hello.
Yes, yes, Shamaji, you can
Go
go
ahead, sir.
ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
There's some cross. I don't know, somebody talking to me, but basically this particular Brown is somebody who can very well gel with the book, which if I am able to write completely, it will be my inspiration, because
Fantastic, fantastic.
he's a bouncing back person. He has bounced back
Yes,
every time,
he
bouncing
showed
back
that in his
continuously.
life. He was just not
Yeah,
speaking; he was
every time
doing, what
illustrated.
he could do, and
Yeah.
he led whatever he spoke. He led that through his life, and he showed us exactly what how we can turn around our life. Vinay sir, is there anything which you need to share over here quickly on this? Because I saw a chat from you that something truly
No,
resonated with you.
I think firstly hi to everybody, and it is such a nice. It's a pleasure to join. I'm joining you from Mumbai, and kind of overwhelmed with the Indian result at Australia today, where we got out for the lowest score possible. So I'm still grappling with that. But Pratibha, firstly, that was a very very interesting. A piece that you did on Les Brown, and I have seen a few videos of the gentleman. He's a terrific speaker. I mean, I've seen him fill up stadiums, and when you mentioned the story of him being in that radio station, uh, and that really paints many pictures in my mind. The first being that life is full of opportunity. Here is a man who made his opportunity despite the odds, and the beauty of it is, when it came, he was ready. I think opportunity is one thing, but being absolutely alive to it is an extremely important facet as well. So that's what I really enjoy in his story. And the second part, which comes a little before, was the manner in which he badgered that Butterball guy to get the job, which is, you have to keep knocking. Many times in life, when we hear the first no, we just give up. And I think these people who persist in life and go the extra mile and achieve things which are extraordinary, for them, no just means not yet. No means not yet. So yeah, I think those two lessons really stuck in my mind a lot, and I think you really brought it alive with the passion with which you spoke, and kind of painted a picture in our minds. So well done.
Thank you, Vinay Sab. Truly, no is truly next opportunity. With this, we are moving to our next opportunity. That is none other than Gangadhar Krishna. So, in order to invite him, I would like to call upon Anil Thomas.
Pratibha, thank you very much for that wonderful book review session. So I've been following you for a very long time, and I know that you are behind Les Brown all sessions. Thank you for coming, and I know how busy are
Thanks.
you. Thank you very much. Let me get to the second speaker of the day. Uh, Gangadhar Krishna is an author, independent consultant, trainer, keynote speaker, certified executive and customer service coach. His specialties include business development, delighting customers, employee importance, service excellence coach, employee engagement, and empowerment. Thinking out of the box, service recovery, customer retention, customer engagement. Gangadhar firmly believes that a business grows and flourishes when they adopt a simple philosophy of sales heaps but service reaps. It helps organizations grow organically by engaging their key assets, the people. And he's going to present his own book. Welcome, Gangadhar sir, onto eBookery platform.
Thank you very much, Anil. Am I audible to all?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much, and thank you, Pratibha, for the book and story, life story of Les Brown. So on. As a matter of fact, when I hear what to say about this
Gangadhar sir, I
for
believe your voice is breaking.
what
Your voice is breaking.
now is it here?
Yes, your voice is breaking.
Hello,
Continue, sir.
is it any better now?
Not
Yeah.
yet.
Maybe should I change? Hello?
Yes, we can hear that hello, but when you start speaking, the long sentence, it's breaking in between.
Okay. How is it now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, so probably I'll keep it at the distance. Is it fine?
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, please go on, sir.
Okay, great. So as I was saying, there's a lot to resonate with what Prati was speaking about, Les Brown, and also what Mr. Vinay was talking about, because I can understand when she said that it took him 21 years to do a book, because a book that I have been doing now, it took me 3 long, hard, enduring years. And 21 years is a pretty long time. I still have a book in the back burner. I pray it doesn't take that long as 21 years. Before we move on, I want to thank Anil, Niaz, and the entire team of Empowerment Talks, because they've been doing a great job, not only for the eBookery, they've been doing it with the 5 a.m., they've been doing with the talk shows, and I think we all move on strength to strength as we progress. Where do you make a start? Well, speaking about that, and if I give you a very quick brief of how I got about to publishing a book, I was working in different industries. I used to work for the travel agency, I used to work for the airlines, retail banking, courier services when I was in Australia. Then I moved to construction business, as in the elevator business. And that got me thinking as to where do I belong? What's my strength? And when I actually identified it, I thought, yes, handling customers, customer service was the only common factor with all the industries. And that's when I started doing a lot of contemplation and thinking. And I started doing some articles. And as you say, as Vinay just said, never does not mean never, it means not yet. So I was behind my newspapers for a good 6 months before they finally published my articles. And when that was released, that's when I realized that I had kicked the ball, and then it had started to roll. So I found that I was writing for one newspaper. People from the Middle East would be more familiar. I started with Gulf News, then I moved on to College Times, then I started for the Weekend Magazine, and then for the Business Quality Review. And as you keep writing and as you keep reading, you get more and more knowledgeable, and then you realize that this was a subject that would never tire me. So even if I was talking 24 hours on customer service, I realized that, hey, now that's where was a passion, something that doesn't let you sleep, like Dr. Abdul Kalam had rightly said. So then I got much more into the subject, and I came up with a theory on service excellence, which can be applied to probably any industry. And during the course of this, I used to keep watching, observing people, observing service transactions, relationships, and making notes of it. And I had almost about 300 lines on customer service. And a friend said, listen, why don't you compile a book on customer service? I said, not a bad idea. And there was somebody else who said, listen, why don't we add some pictures to that? So it was a potpourri of various concepts getting in, including, I don't know how many of people have heard of R.K. Lakshman. We also had some amount of that sprinkled in this book. And that's how the book came about, which is called Delighting Customers Is. Now, this is a very unique book in the sense, it has only illustrations inside. It has very bare minimal text. So it is an illustrative business book, whereby the idea is that it's not going to put you to sleep. There's no pages and pages of text, graphs, case studies. Because I have a personal library of books, and I know what it is like to read a book. And if it's not engrossing, it can easily put you to sleep. Half a page and you fall asleep. So I said, I don't want to make a book like that. In fact, I was doing a reading for a friend's book, which was technical. And he told me, what do you think? I said, it's fine. I'm not tech savvy. I told him, why don't you make a book that somebody will read, understand? A housewife will not be afraid that when she presses the enter button, the computer is going to blow on her face. So he was still wondering how to go about doing that. And I said, when I'm talking to him and I'm preaching that to him, why don't I try and do something on the same lines? So when I got these suggestions, we got about trying to see how to make a pictorial book on customer service, looking at the basic nuances of what customer service is all about. The book is pretty generic, so that when you read this book, you can always add your concepts, your styles, your industries, and apply it in your real life, in your working life. So the book was created kind of a concept in mind. I mean, actually, if you go to see, you can read it in 10 minutes, or you can keep the book beside you as a lifetime of wisdom towards customer service. Or I could say, here we respect every reader, irrespective of how powerful his knowledge of English is, because a picture speaks 1,000 words. So a person who can read basic and can understand what the picture is all about, he then starts relating himself with the picture of what he does. And once again, this is a book that is useful for each and every human being walking on this planet. Now, why would I say something like that? Because each and every one of you here are receiving service at some point or the other of this day. And you are providing service. So how can you absolve yourself from something like customer service or service? So this is a book that you can relate yourself to, you can learn something from it, and if you want, you can improve. It's a self-help book, not for individuals, but also for corporates. Because when I mean for corporates, because often you have trainings held, and after a training, people barely remember what's there in the training program. After a week, it's forgotten. But a book like this gives you that little bit of a knock on what they try to tell you in the training programs. Because till you go back after 3 months, after 6 months, after a year, 1 year for another training or a refresher or advanced, you've forgotten what it's all about. You go about with your daily monotonous way of working or doing things that, so this book becomes a knock. It becomes like a silent one-to-one coach telling employees how to go about handling their customers. So it's a pretty useful book for each and every individual. Anil or Niaz, could you help me share my screen? I just wanted to do a quick run of the book for you because it's not a texted book. I have to put it in the PowerPoint for you.
Gangadhar Sahab, you are a co-host now. You can share your screen.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to screen share. Just a sec. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great. So that's the cover. And I want to very quickly run through what is inside the book. I won't run through all the pages, but just to give you a sprinkle of. So this is a bouquet of the different illustrations you see in every page. It's just a teaser. Now, if you delve a little bit more deeper into this, it talks about the little aspects which are so very important and which stays ingrained into your subconscious. On the top left, if you can see fairly clearly, we're talking about delighting customers, about how good is your restrooms in an organization, in a mall, in a theater, in an office, wherever you are. It may not be a very important thing, but when you need to go to a restroom and you find it's dirty, it leaves you with a bad impression. So these are small things which play a very key role in for a great customer experience. I'll just take you to some of the pages a little bit more in detail. Delighting customers is all about giving him a genuine smile. How often do you see that a service provider has smiled at you genuinely? Walk into an aircraft and you see the in-flight crew smiling at everybody. Just see how genuine is the smile, or is it that's what they do day in and day out for every flight takeoff and landing? Give it a thought. Delighting customers is giving employees a pat on the back at every instance possible. Now, this is an extremely thought-provoking illustration whereby you have to go not finding faults of your employees, colleagues, and team, but seeing what good they're doing every day and how you can give them a pat on the back every day. If you start searching for it, you probably will find it. Just as much as you go fault finding, you will find the positives on each and every individual in your team and see how you can bring the best out of him and have a good team and develop a fabulous service culture in the organization. Back office extending support to frontline. We often think that service is a frontline job. Actually, it never is. It's the job of each and every person, each and every department in an organization. Never the job of the frontline alone. And this will confirm that delighting customers is supposed to be a concerted effort from the chairman to the charwoman. The chairman thinks that, okay, he has set aside a budget for customer service projects and set the ball in motion and the program in motion, but is it working well? What is his involvement in that? Or for that matter, the lady who is working right down, it could be the security or the cleaners. Each and every individual has to act as an ambassador for the organization, and they cannot absolve themselves from keeping their customers happy. You can get your hand at this book by looking up on Amazon, anywhere, Amazon India, Amazon.com, Amazon UAE. And in India, it is available with my distributors, Embassy Books. And I was talking to Embassy Books about the session today, and he was very gracious enough. He said, listen, let me give you a coupon code, and we'll give a 20% discount for whoever picks the book from Embassy. And it's available there. The site is also here. I will be sharing this with Anil or with Niyas in case anybody to the Embassy. And it's important that when a customer leaves your premises, he is not wondering, was I happy? Was I not happy? He is not going out of the place scowling, but he goes out happy and delighted to come back another day and to get friends and family together.
His elder sister, not his.
So this is Delighting Customers is basically a self-help book. It's a business book. It's a book to hone your service skills. Say it's not necessarily when you're working in an organization. Service skills is even towards society, towards community, because service, and it doesn't become a problem for you when you go to the place of work and you have to serve your customers. So it's some kind of self-help we're looking at, where you don't have two different personalities when you're working somewhere and doing something for the sake of a salary as against doing something from the heart. Because when you work from the heart, take care of your customers, take care of your people around you, it becomes second nature for you to do that. So it's more of a book that helps you to get that into your DNA and see how you can take it forward. And this book even has a child engrossed in it, because it so happened that a 7-year-old saw this book and was very interested. She started flipping this book. And it's very interesting, but she didn't understand what it was. She said, why do you have delighting customers in every page? I said, that's because the picture is talking about how to make your customers happy. They said, who are customers? And I had to explain to her who are customers. And over a period of time, she rather caught on to the concept. Today, of course, she's 9-year-old and she has the book still with her, and she's really caught on to this concept. So it is for young like life in a better shape when they're taking care of their customers and their business. And this book, as you work towards something and you move on, we started with this book, but later realized that we need to bring it into a different format only for corporates. So what did we do? We bought it in the form of a tabletop tent, whereby it's on top of your table every day. This is more of a corporate item where you have the name of your company at the bottom, front or back, and every day you have a message of customer service for you. You've got your trainings, and maybe it's retained, maybe it's forgotten, but there's somebody telling you. That's why I call this a silent one-to-one coach. It doesn't talk to you, but it tells you sufficiently. Got the book. You have 52 illustrations. And it tells you that's how this book was evolved, and that's how this book was released. And I've been very happy to have released a book of this in this format and taken it forward, because organizations also use this book for their toolbox talks. Now, many may not be aware what is toolbox talk. Toolbox talks are something which they talk about safety on a weekly basis or a daily basis or a monthly basis, depending on the organization, for safety and security. But I think this something like this ought to be that you keep drumming in every other day, every week, to your employees, to your staff, that how important that customer is, who's actually paying everybody's salary, and why we need to take good care of him. And as you keep injecting this information, they will start getting into the right culture and become the true ambassadors for the organization. So with that in mind, Delighting Customers was born. And as Pratibha rightly said, Les Brown did it for his mother. This book was sort of dedicated to my mom. She used to write songs, but never got published. And I said, I wouldn't leave this earth without leaving a mark and then go ahead. So I published this book, and now I'm working on the second book, which hopefully in time Empowerment Talks would have maybe 200 participants instead of 26 today. And that's when probably the book also would be ready. And with that, I want to transfer the mic back to Niaz. And if anybody has any questions, would like to know something, I would be more than happy to share or answer.
Yes, Gangadharan sir, that was a mind-blowing one. Say, that is right. Actually, I was really fascinated seeing that cover page of that book. Delighting customers is then blank. So the readers has to fill that after reading. Am I audible?
Yes.
I think I had... Yeah. I think, is it my internet problem or...
Badru, that question was not heard completely.
Can you hear me, Badru?
Yes, now I can hear you. Okay, did you hear my question?
Okay, great. So, yes, I heard your question. And the reason we left it with delighting customers is because
I'm not hearing. Are you?
I guess the voice is breaking over there. Gangadhar sir, you need to unmute yourself. You are on mute now.
I went off air and had to come back.
Yes, in between also your voice was breaking, but we could hear the meaning of what you were talking, though it was a breaking in between, but did not have a much disturbance. We just left that in that way. Then, if you can log in again, that would be good. Or else, if you can switch your place to another, that also would be good, I guess.
Can you now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you when you say,
Hello?
can you hear me? But after that, when you speak the long sentence, we are breaking you in between.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Now, I think now you can talk.
Yeah, Badru, can you repeat the question once again, please?
Yeah, sure. I was asking, Gangadharan sir, I was really
Any
fascinated
better?
with the cover page of your book. So it's like delighting customers is, then there's a blank. So I'm asking you. Oh my.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello?
Type in the chat box.
I think.
Yeah, better, Badru, you put it on a chat. Gangadhar sir would be able to see that, and he would replay on it either by a mic or on on a chat. So it was truly a fantastic evening. What we had from Pratibha and Gangadhar, it was mesmerizing, and I really like the way he put it on each page. It was very simple, as he mentioned that one. Even the person who doesn't have much command over English, he should be able to understand. That was the kind of a purpose that he had. I don't really think anyone wants to use a dictionary also to read his book, because it was that lucid language, and it was with the picture. It was very clear. Even I was about to tell him that those pages, we need to make it as a poster, and we need to have it in different areas of our office. but he had come up with an idea of having a desktop, which would be a daily alarm for everyone who is looking at it. It was truly fantastic, Gangadhar Sir, a very creative
Am I
idea.
am I am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, I put off my video as Ankit had suggested. And going back to the question which was asked, we purposely put the cover with delighting customers is the reason being every picture inside has a reason why you need to delight your customers or how you need to delight your customers. That's why we put the title as Delighting Customers is. If there's anybody else who has a question, I'll be happy. I'm not in front of the camera now, so all the more I'm confident.
That's great. So
Nah, I don't mind coming
yeah,
in, but then it just was becoming so much of a disturbance. So I said,
we
hearing
understand.
is
I
more
think
important than seeing at
that's
this point in time.
Great,
that's
great,
clear.
Gangadhar.
We've seen you
Ankit,
and we've got. Yep.
yes,
Sorry.
Ankit,
Yes.
I would like to take a question from you, Ankit. Definitely, you would be having a one.
Yes, I have. I have. So, thank you for taking us through this journey. And I guess 3 years of hard work really pays off. It's a novel concept to put a book into pictures. I would want to understand that there are always two faces to an organization. One is to the outside customer, and one is to the internal customer. So where you have teams who are supporting other teams within the organization, and you meet them day in and day out, and irrespective of either you meet them with a happy face or a sad face, you assign work to them and you get that done irrespective of whether you like it or not. So how much does a customer service play a role within the organization between teams? If you could share some insights on that.
I think one of the slides you saw there, we were talking about extending support to frontline, where we mentioned that it's even the back office has to help the frontline to support their customer and customer service. So this is basically the internal customer, because only when you help that internal customer can you proceed and can you go ahead and help the external customer. Because end of the day, it's like the old saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. You can have a fabulous product, you can have a fabulous price, but if you have a sulking frontline or if you have a poor refund policy, then everything goes kaput. So if you have to have it seamless, you need to ensure that every link in the chain acts in unison, acts in they perform their job and within the time limit or however it needs to be done within the organization.
Okay,
Any
thank you.
delays, any disruptions are going to definitely snowball onto the outside the customer.
Okay, okay, got it. So you're saying that it's equally important from a inside internal perspective also, rather than just from an outside perspective.
It is as much internal as it is external.
Okay, thank you.
Because I
So
mean,
on that note,
yeah,
hmm, yeah, please continue.
yeah, because if you have to talk nicely to your customer, it has to be to the internal and external. If you have to deliver on time, it has to be to your internal or your external. If you're going to be communicating to somebody, it has to be to your internal, external. You cannot leave somebody in the dark, right? So this concepts apply to internal customers as much as to external customers.
Okay.
Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Gangadhar sir, for that answer. And I can see Zara Rahman and Jinan Rahman. I thought I had a double vision, and I was looking at again them, and they are two. Hi, Zara. Hi, Jinan. How are you? Are you there?
Hi. Yeah, we're
We are seeing you for
fine.
the first time,
How are
Jinan.
you?
All good, Jinan. How did you find our book presentation?
I found you from the Young Empowerment Talks WhatsApp group.
All right, great. Is there any takeaway way
Um,
that you had from these two books?
yes, I had a very big takeaway from Pradeep Day book review.
Jinan, you went on mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Thank you so much, Pratibha ma'am. I am 13. So like the second book with customer delighting, I'll use that as a future, as a future lesson. So I'll use that in future if I ever start doing business. So like all the books that you review are very fun. I watched others in YouTube Live because I wasn't able to join Zoom because I did not know about you before. So yeah, this is the first time ever joining and I loved it so far. Thank you so much, all of you.
Fantastic, Jinan. At the age of 13, you are listening to such kind of, talks on a platform like an e-bookery. We were flying kites those days. So, can we have Vinay Kanchan sir? Can you please share your views on the second books that we had?
Sure. So let me begin by saying that I'm still flying kites. Firstly, congratulations to Gangadharan sir. That's uh, as an author, I know I can empathize with one thing. Actually, pictorially representing something is far more difficult than writing words because you have to get the concept dead on in very little time. In just one picture, you have to explain something which is very complex. So it's an art. And from the illustrations that I've seen that you shared, you have got it bang on, sir. So that is absolutely fantastic. I liked a lot of things you said also. To me, in many ways, if you look at management thinking, my opinion also is customer service is the culmination of everything going right. As you said, links in a chain. When everything goes right, that's when you have a customer smile. It's the destination of a business, right? And today, increasingly, I think no matter what your visiting card says, everybody is in customer service. For instance, if you go to a restaurant, like a good restaurant, you will find even the chefs have started coming out and interacting with customers. 15, 20 years ago, that was never the case. So every business, everyone in every business eventually is in customer service. So I think it's not just a business mindset that your book looks at, it is a life mindset because it's all about smiles at the end of the day. What can we do as an institution, as a group, as a company, as a team, which ensures that we are delivering value to the world? So I thought it was very interesting, and it's an interesting thing that you've done that leave behind also on people's tables, because as you rightly said, once you read a book, you forget it by the weekend. Basically, if you read it and finished it on Monday, by Friday you have no idea what the book taught you. I think our minds always react better when there are triggers which reinforce learning which happened a while ago. So I think your idea of having something to leave behind on corporate tables is extremely good. And I would strongly recommend you do that in your second book as well. It should be something which gets associated with you. So I enjoyed the talk. Well done.
Fantastic, Gangadhar
Thank you
sir.
very
Thank
much.
you.
As you rightly said, Vinay ji, the illustrator was almost getting fed up with me when we were trying to work on the illustrations. So every stroke had to have a meaning, and it had to. So it was the challenges was fabulous, and the patient people who were behind me was my daughter and my wife.
True, definitely. Those pictures are trigger for us, and we never gonna forget the smile. I mean, that kind of mask it had. One is
Yeah,
with a smiling
exactly.
face, another one is behind it, and we are not gonna forget, that employee pat schedule that you were busy, based on the appetite you are giving. Okay, it is a due, and it is weekly once due. It is 4 months once due. That's an amazing concept. I mean, these are the triggers that we are gonna get it. I mean, if you read a paragraph through, if you read a pages through, you may tend to miss out such kind of triggers, but it was completely with the triggers. Vanessa, you are completely dead on it. Yes, do we have anybody else to share a question over here on, because we got an amazing speakers, Pratibha and Gankadar. We need to get the best out of them. Rajkumar Gem Foundation. We would like to hear from you a few words, if you don't mind. You can unmute yourself. I sent you a prompt. Yes, you can start speaking now.
Hello. Audible.
Yes, Raj,
Yes, yes,
you're
you are.
audible.
It was a great session, very enlightening. Both the authors, and I personally know Gangadhar sir. I have read this book, or rather, I have seen this book, gone through the pages, not read. It is a wonderful book, absolutely wonderful book. I can use it for my schools, customer service in schools, because it is for any industry. It's applicable for any industry, especially for my staff, for the principals. They have to follow this customer care rules. It is a wonderful book. Everyone should have it. That's I recommend.
Thank you, Rajkumar sir, and also,
Thank you.
Gangadhar sir, you were kind enough to introduce the R.K. Lakshman to us. So I would like to hear from Kayambu Ramalingam, who is from all the way from. Yes,
How
sir.
many of you are, oh, one second, Anil, how many of you all can remember the cartoons called Lovers? Do any of you remember or know about it? Otherwise,
What is the name
Google.
of the cartoon, sir?
You'll
Can
find
you just
Lovers
repeat it again?
captions, pictures. Just, yes. It's
I have no
in
idea.
the newspapers at some point in time. What is love? Love is a smile, delighting customers is. It bests more on those concepts also. Look up love.
Gangadhar sir, I guess still, we are losing you in between because you are breaking. Your voice is breaking.
Oh.
I would like to just move on to Kayambu Ramalingam,
Yes, sir. Yes,
the
sir.
person all the way from Washington, D.C.
Yeah, actually, today is the first day I'm in this group, and I enjoyed both the speakers thing. The common thing in both the books is a mom inspired them to write. Mom inspired the motivational speaker, and a mom inspired Mr. Gangadhar sir. Because a lot of people, we have ideas, everything, but we are not registering. And so that's a common thing I saw. But the illustration, so really good. First, I thought like he's going to talk about the regular customer service, of what we have to do, kind of things. But the pictorial representation, even though it is hard, see, the ultimate goal of the book is communicating, right? So I think this book did a wonderful job than any other text. Even I like to keep that calendar, even in our office employees' desk every day. They have to see that, and that's going to motivate them, and it will remain them. It's a great book. I cannot wait to read that book. I'm going to order through Amazon. So also I like to get that calendar to keep it on my table. It's a great group. I enjoyed Mr. Anil and organized Nivasali, because from teenagers to GEM Foundation side, Mr. Rajkumar. So everyone is here. So it's a great group. I enjoyed. I like to participate in this every week, sir. Thanks so much for the opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And Ankit posted a question over here. How do you keep your internal employees, colleagues motivated? It's a question to Gangadhar ji, I believe.
No, it's a question on motivation. So it's a follow-up question to Pratibha.
Okay.
Can you? Okay, if Pratibha wants to take that, let her answer that.
Say more going to Pratibha, ma'am.
I just wrote in the chat box. So along with interpersonal communication, I also studied organizational communication in the workplaces. So one thing I can say is regarding, so it's all about ethics, as I also study ethical communication. The differences, such as companies between Google and Amazon, is that how they take care of their employees. You have to have initiative, something to offer them, and really care about them and their well-being and physical health, which Amazon doesn't do. I've been a former employee of Amazon when I worked in a warehouse when I was younger, and it really takes a toll on your body. So the difference is actually caring about your employees. Google, it's a big corporate, so they have breaks, like break rooms, silent rooms, and it's really nurturing them, giving them gifts, bonuses, and really listening to what the employees want from the company. So those are the two differences that I've known from working in Amazon that's poorly ethical, and then something like Google, which, people really want to work for because of their ethics. I hope that helps.
So do you think carrot and stick is still the best method to work on?
I'm sorry?
Does carrot and stick, is that still the age-old method that works?
What's that?
Carrot and stick.
Incentivize and punish. Offer
Correct.
an incentive and then the threat of punishment.
Oh,
Carrot
no,
is
I
an
never heard
incentive,
about that.
and
We didn't learn about that.
Okay,
Thanks.
done. Thanks for the
I
answer.
would always pat on the back is more important.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
all right. So
I think a pat on the back is very important. Yeah.
correct.
Well, one thing I want to say really quickly, I'm sorry, is that it just came to my mind. One of the only reasons people stay in poor work environments is because of their colleagues, because they're there for the other people, not necessarily for the company. That's why people stay for low pay and people stay in a poor environment is because of other people. They want to stay with their friends. That's why.
Fantastic insight today in this evening from Pratibha and Gangadhar. So we would like to, we Bookery team, we would like to hear from Pratibha and Gangadhar that, how has been your experience on this Bookery platform? So since Pratibha started out, I would like to go with the Pratibha first.
Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoyed it and I stayed on. That means I like it. Thank you so much for having me. Namaste.
Yeah. I have a question. Can I ask to Pratibha ma'am? I just want to know your opinion that why always everything is about race and beauty. Do you think that sometimes it favors and sometimes it's just like threatening?
I'm sorry, say that last word again.
Yeah, sometimes every time this race and the beauty is sometimes it favors and sometimes it is like threatening somebody because of what to say, like we are focusing on these things, and why is why around people these two factors always play a lead role? Like, are you have an opinion to just second it, or are you against it?
Yeah, I definitely stand against it. I'm all about Black Lives Matter and helping the minorities. The only answer that I have is ignorance. When you're uneducated and you don't have that experience or knowledge about something, you don't know what you don't know, right? And I just want to leave you with this quote by Malcolm X that don't be in a hurry to condemn he who doesn't do as you do, think as you do, or as fast as there was a time where you didn't know what you know today. So does that make sense? It's ignorance. Does that answer your question? You can email me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah, that will do. That will do. Yeah. Right.
That was really good, and I just would like to move on.
Yeah, I'm very happy to. I want to let you know that all your answers and what all you are telling is like just like very brief, and it's very sweet. That is really important when you are talking. I really appreciate.
Really quickly, Ankit, you wrote something in the chat box. Is that?
No, that's not the comment for you. It's general.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry for that.
I didn't know if you're being sarcastic. I was like,
no, I'm not. I'm sorry for that. I didn't probably complete the sentence then.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great. So, if you would like to move on to Gangadhar Krishna.
Yes, please.
So you can just unmute yourself and you can start speaking.
Am I audible?
Now, okay.
Now, because I've been having some problems today. Otherwise, it's not the case. But we have to get over it in spite of problems and challenges. Yeah. And I think I have been attending empowerment talks off and on. I have done a presentation with Yash sometime back in the month of March. And now, of course, it was to do with the book. And yeah, I think empowerment talks has already gone up to more than 200 plus presentations. Am I right?
Yes,
So
you
it
are.
just tells you from where they started and where they are heading and where they will be going further from there. It again bloomed. It again bloomed into a 5 a.m. club with somebody's enthusiasm and interest. It further bloomed into an e-bookery. Am I right?
Yes.
So this is how I think one evolves, because as you kick the ball, as the ball rolls, you realize how much you need to kick, how much it'll roll. Am I enjoying kicking that ball? Am I enjoying seeing that ball roll? Where is my goal? Am I going to be hitting that very soon? What kind of help do I need? Do I need a team along with me? And it's going to be fun to take the whole thing ahead. So I really say hats off to Empowerment Talks for all the efforts you put behind it and get every show going. It's not easy. And what you do as a team together, I really commend you on that. And if anytime you need my help, assistance, I will be more than happy to extend whatever I can for you.
Fantastic, fantastic, Gangadhar sir. Thank you so much. And you knew it that we were due for that batting. Fantastic. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I just would like to hear from Zara Rahman. Hi, Zara.
Yeah, hello guys.
Hi,
I
Zara.
just wanted, yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to tell about the books.
Yes, please.
Okay, so thank you so much, Pratibha De. I hope I pronounced it right, and Gangadhar Krishna. I also hope I pronounced it right. Thank you so much for your book review. It was awesome and I loved it as I'm an avid book reader and I love reading books from a very small age as I feel immense pleasure to read it. Thank you so much. And like these books really helped me and I hope I can take the motto from the books and work in it as in my life and yeah, and lead my life in a correct way. Thank you so much for those excellent book reviews. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you once
Thank you
again.
so much, Zara,
Very
for that
good, Zara.
appreciation and for
Zara,
that
how old are
motivation.
you? Zara, my dear, how old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
Wow, very nice. You talk nicely.
Your son,
Thank you so much.
I think.
Fantastic. I mean, you girls are really motivating us.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Hi, Michael Pinto, Revati Sharma, Shalini Sippy, and Subhashini, Galaxy J2, Galaxy Tab SA, Sanyukta Krishna. Does anyone would like to come on a video and share a few thoughts of yours here?
Yes, how can you forget Major?
No, Major sir is there in a reserve.
Yeah, our Major Narayan sir is here. Oh, he was hiding.
No, I thought I would pick someone as a new over here. Anyhow, anyone would like to share their
Oh, okay.
thoughts
Yeah,
here?
welcome. Yeah.
Both the speakers gave an extraordinary, powerful review. If Pratibha was simple, or rather, she was suave, Gangadhar was absolutely simple. If hers was power packed, it was highly penetrating into the mind. What she spread so fast, he was able to go very, very slow, calm and measured. You could see the gush of ideas pouring forth from the minds of Pratibha, whereas it is a calm, as a serene river, it is just flowing. It is just meandering. Those are the words from Gangadhar Krishna sir. Pratibha had a lot of giveaways, lot of takeaways, and I was just trying to go behind her. What all her words are full of value. And whereas Krishna, Gangadhar sir was just giving, he just sprinkling here and there, here and there. It is for us to just take catch. All in all, both of them were very, very powerful. Each were as different as a cheese and chalk, but both of them very, very powerful because everybody is unique. Nobody is same. And we had to see the quality of the speech of both the reviewers. Awesome presentation. What Pratibha lacked in terms of videos, Gangadhar scored a point by showing the pictures, especially the powerful one-liners. Because as a picture is that could spell 1,000 words, and where Gangadhar could not make it up, Pratibha was able to compensate by her vigor, enthusiasm, energy, and expertise. Thanks, and two entirely different speakers, powerful speakers. Both of them have been able to. One is magical and one is mesmerizing. And thanks to both of them, and a big thanks to Nias for having wonderfully hosted them, and Anil Thomas, who's been guiding all of us. And the final word to Faisal Ibrahim for having brought all these people together. Thank you.
Fantastic. That was a general evaluation from Majan Narayan Shah. As we normally get it, we always identify where we are standing based on his evaluation and where do we need to go ahead, where we need to rise our bar. All these things we get it from Majan Narayan, one of our mentor in eBookery. Thank you so much for that. So guys, here we are going to close our session for the day. With a note of a big thanks to each and everyone out here, Pratibha Ade and Gangadhar ji, Vinay Kanjan Saab. Thank you so much for being here. And we are going to have a Vinay Kanjan sir next week here as a speaker. So Pratibha and Gangadhar ji, when you have a time, where time allows you, please be part of it. And Anil Thomas sir, as we thank you every time because you are the one who became a reason for all of us to get together over here, the one who found eBookery Show, English and Malayalam. And Kayambu Ramalingam, we were really happy to have you over. We are really happy to have you over here, all the way from Washington, D.C. We would like to see more faces from that part of the world here on eBookery, and we would like to have some active volunteers also from that part of the world. And we all consider this as a shared responsibility, as I said in the initial beginning of our session. This is a shared responsibility of everyone. It is not a sole responsibility of one or two. Please spread this to maximum of yours, and we need to have a people over here. We are just 17. This kind of a session, what we had from Pratibha and Gangadhar ji, this is not for 17 people. This is for 170. This is for 1,000 people. So the quality is all we need to have is that we need to have more people to aware of this program. So what can be done? It's very easy. Whatever the postures that you are getting on our eBookery, share that with all your groups, put that on your status. And we have a Facebook group for English and Malayalam and even Tamil. You go and be a part of the group, just join in that group. And whenever we post our sessions program over there, you just like it and comment it for a better reachability and better visibility. These are the things that we are requesting from your side. So once again, thanks a lot, everyone. See you all on next Saturday. So do we have a next Saturday's slide here, Anil sir?
Yes.
Okay, can you please share over here by sharing your screen?
Okay. Well,
So we are going to have two heroes for the next week. So this poster is already ready. It is circulated in our groups. Please cascade this to maximum of your friends. We are 17 now. If we decide that I'm gonna get 2 members next week for this session, we're gonna have a 34 plus 17, which is gonna be a 51. And that is the kind of a growth that we are looking at. We don't want an earth-shattering growth. We just need a very gradual growth. So whoever are here, just make sure next time you're gonna bring 1 or 2 of your friends to our session. Yes, Revati Sharma, are you there?
Yes,
Hi,
I'm here.
Revati.
Hi. First of all,
Hi,
really thank you, Pratibha ma'am and Gangadhar sir for for presenting such a wonderful book. Actually, what I understood from Pratibha ma'am's book is like it's completely a motivational. It's his life is completely motivational, and in order to live a best life, we need to find our passion, right? We need to find our passion and to feel the hunger And it's really a great message with insight, knowledge, as well as wisdom. I understood that actually. And with a quote, I always, with Les Brown's, one of the quote is like, aim for the moon, at least you will fall in stars. Somewhat related with one quote was there. Actually, I'm so happy. It is completely relatable with our life. And here I would like to say, like, if you're hungry, you can reach your goals. That's all I could say over here in this book review. Because in order to reach our goals, we must be like very determined in that. And about Gangadhar sir, seriously, it's completely like totally.
It already
Uh,
became.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's totally about how to treat our customers and make them satisfied and happy. It's completely about that. And the quote, which I really loved, is sales heaps, but service reaps. That's true. In order to grow up a business or any success of any business, that depends upon how we convince our customers. That's the thing. Even though the book was completely like pictures, but the message was loud and so
Hmm.
clear that customers will be our priority. This was a message that is completely given up, because I can relate this to my life, because I just worked as a client relationship executive to a company. So I can just go through the whole pictures which you shown, and I really related with that. So it was one of the best books. Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful book. And thank you, Nia sir and Badru, for memorizing me that 22nd is National Mathematics Day. Thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Revati. Thank you so much. Relating to that book, I would like to quote something here what Steve Jobs has mentioned, like always stay hungry and stay foolish. That's what he said. Like you have to be hungry for acquiring knowledge and be foolish. You should always be brave to do experiments. That is what Steve Jobs said. So I just want to relate that to the book Pradima ma'am review. Anyways, thank you, Revati. Thank you so much. And over to you, Anil sir. You're there?
Yeah, thank you, Badro. Can you see slide
Yes,
on
Sanil
history?
sir, we
All
can see
right,
that one. So
okay, that's going to be the chapter 29 of e-Bookery on 26th of December 2020. Speaker number one, Vinay Kanchan, is there with us now. And the book, and the second speaker, Rohan Roy from Singapore with Atomic Habits. These are the two books that we're going to review next week.
fantastic, Anil sir. We are so excited. Next day of our Christmas 26, and that's gonna be the last session of eBookery English in this year. And this year was really which never, I mean, we cannot forget an year. I mean, we had a lot of different plans in this year, but where we ended up was entirely different. But this year gave us many things. One is eBookery show, because if the pandemic was not there, eBookery show may not have born. So that is a good thing, or what is the positive thing which I see over here. So do not miss it. This is the last session of this year. So we need to close this with a big bang. So share this poster with maximum of your friends and bring maximum of your friends. If we can touch one heart, we can consider that is the biggest achievement that we're going to have it over here. And the speakers that we're going to have, one is Vinay Saab, another one is the chief mentor of our empowerment, Roy Taragan, and his son, all the way from Singapore. And the book, it's very, the book which everyone knows, the Atomic Habits from the James Clear, an easy and proven way to build the good habits and break the bad ones. So that's gonna be an amazing day, truly. So guys, everyone, I mean, we have a 70 now. Make sure you're gonna be there next week. Along with that, try to bring 2 of your friends. So thanks again, once again from eBookery Show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Pratibha.
Nia.
Thank you,
Thank
Gagara
you
sir,
everyone for
Nessa.
being
Thank you all.
here.
Yep.
Thank you.
And so you can stop that YouTube.